Hello guys, and welcome to a Manufacturer's Cup Truck Guide. Today I'll be looking at this week's combo of Group 3 class cars at Suzuka. So, if we go to leaderboards and just check out the cars that are near the top, you can see a few Porsches, see an F-Type, an Audi, so have a good idea of like what cars are strong here. And so, I guess you can see they're around like mid 57s to low 50, mid 56s to low 57 lap times. So before I go around, as you can see, I have the cones on. I'm just going to have those on to help point out some of the brake markers around here. And also, after doing like a few laps here, some of the most important things I'm also going to point out is just how to keep momentum up in like the S's, trying to avoid oversteer off like exits, and also, at least for this Porsche, how it's really important to rev the car out. So anyways, as we start our lap here, so we're just trying to rev the gears as high as possible. As we approach turn 1, looking at like the 50 board and almost like the cone after it. Then shifting down to 4th, 3rd, and into 2nd. Almost trail braking for that corner. Then for the S's, just letting off as the cone, trying to stay as close to the curbs as possible. For this inside curve, I'm not trying to hit any of the green part, just mostly trying to get like the white and red stripes. I'm going to shift back down to 2nd, try to be a little more tight than that. And then finally, not hit any of this curb, but try to like aim towards the cone, the apex cone. As we approach the Degners here, looking at the board, I'm going to shift down once and turn in. It's really important to like nail the apex there, that way you can really be tight for the second Degner. And as we approach the hairpin here, I'm looking at the curb on the right. Like one car length after it ends, that's when I start downshifting. Just trying to not go too slow there. Staying close to the curb, but not really clipping much of the curb. Just again, keeping the momentum up in the slow part of the track. Once again, I'm going to keep the revs up by not shifting up to 5th, staying in 4th gear, looking at the asphalt on the right. And that's when I shift down to 3rd. For spoon here, you can see the second part of spoon, it's like off camber. So you want to stay as close to the inside, or else you're just going to keep like shuffling out to the outside because the car doesn't really want to turn when it's off camber. Finally, we're 130R. If you're lucky, you might be able to get this flat out, but I generally just let it off like as I'm approaching the cone, like half gas, and back the gas. So it's like a very brief time that you're off the throttle. Just past the cones, downshift, you can probably get to 1st here. I missed the curbs there. I'd say we're going to do a few more laps just to try to go over things again. So, like I said, we're going to try to get down to like mid 57s. Right now we're at low 59s. Once again, looking at the cone right after the 50, going tight. So that's not what you want to do. So, I mean, although that looked like a big problem, I mean, the most important part is, I mean, that's an attack corner. So you want to brake as late as possible because there's such a short straight afterwards that if you're going defensive on those first corners, you're not really going to gain much because a better exit isn't really going to gain you much time because there's not a long straight following. So I'm going to try to do that corner a bit better next time, but as we approach the Degners, I would say maybe you can attack the Degner 2 a little more than I did. So again, just approaching the 50 board, downshift, past the 2 cones, try to stay as close inside as possible. It's very easy to get oversteer there, so just be patient on the throttle. And brake a tad later, just downshift. And in the same way that like the first corner, you don't want to go defensive. Even in spoon, if you brake too early for the first corner, it's actually going to make your second corner worse as well, because you want to be as far outside near the curbs to give yourself a good entry for the second part. I should have shifted down to 2nd gear for that last bit, but so finally, as we approach the chicane, just need to be a little more aggressive on the curbs. You want to like attack the curbs to help rotate the car. At least in the Porsche, it really upsets the car just because of how bumpy the curbs are. But you really want to try on top of them. See a little bit of oversteer there, so I'm gonna be silent for this next lap and just try to be a little bit faster here. Exiting the final corner. Just try to stay as close to the inside as possible. And there's like a mid 57. So I'm gonna do one final lap around here and then we'll be done with this track guide. I attacked turn 1 a little too hard in that lap before, so I kind of went wide in turn 2. Just be a little softer than I was. Again, just trying to stay tight to these curbs. For the cones, down to second. I went a bit wide on the exit of Spoon there. That's a bit better than last lap. So looking at the 50 board, or like the cone right here for when to turn in. Around here, half gas, back to full. Brake just past the cones. There we go. So, hope that the track guide helped, and good luck in Manufacturer's Cup, guys.